Do you use an external overdrive pedal with your Line 6 Pod Go? If you do you put it in the effects loop on the Pod Go, or you put it before the Pod Go? Or maybe you put it after the Pod Go in your signal chain. But what sounds better? What's the best way to use an external drive pedal with a Pod Go? Well, that's going to be a matter of opinion according to your ears. But what I've done here is I have a setup here. I'm using a Boss Power Stack ST2. It's like a Marshall in a box pedal, discontinued pedal, great pedal, check it out. And I have two of them, so I have them both set the same, and one is in the loop and one is before my Pod Go. Now I'm using a Telecaster single coil guitar, and just drummed up a quick preset using a Moon amp and matching cab and just a little touch of reverb. So here's my basic guitar tone. Okay, so let's do the drive that's in the effects loop. Okay, I hear some noise there, and I do have the noise gate on. But this is, like I said, it's a Marshall in the box, and the drive is actually set at noon. So if you set it all the way, this goes like crazy insane, and probably not great for single coil pickups. But anyways, this is just more of a test for the drive sound and how, if it's placed in the loop or before the Pod Go. Okay, so that was the loop. Now here is the pedal before the Pod Go. It's going into the guitar input of the Pod Go. And right off the bat, you hear that noise? Well, that's going to happen, especially with single coils. And like I said, I have the noise gate on. Here's how it sounds. All right, so there's an issue. Noise, especially with single coils. Now, if you have noiseless pickups or humbuckers, you're probably still going to get a bit of noise, but not to that degree. That's crazy. And if you have a particular drive you want to use, this could present a problem. So what are you going to do if you want the drive before the Pod Go, or basically just, outside? It's an external drive and you're not putting it in the signal chain using the mono effects loop. What are you going to do? Let's go back and forth. And so I'm just going to play for a bit and just toggle between both pedals. And let's hear. To be honest, I didn't hear a great amount of difference, but I think I prefer the sound of the drive going into the Pod Go, right? So it's its own thing going into the digital unit. But that noise, that would be totally unacceptable in any recording or live situation. Well, I'm just going to play and toggle between, and let's go. So here's the we'll start off with the mono effects loop again. Okay, so my conclusion, for my personal taste, I found having the drive going into the Pod Go, so outside of the signal chain, not using the effects loop, it sounded more like the natural, I guess, is what I'm looking for. It sounded brighter, and it sounded like the characteristics of the pedal were not being compromised in any way. It's just the noise, that noise. Like, because what if I want to use the single coil guitar? Maybe that's my favorite guitar, and that's my favorite drive pedal. Well, you're gonna have to get some kind of noise gate to add to that. So, and that's an easy fix. You can get a nice noise gate pedal. You can get a cheap Donner, or I think is the brand Donner. I have a Donner noise killer, and that pedal works fantastic. And that's like a $50-$60 pedal, I think. Maybe it's gone up a little bit, but it's affordable solution, and that would cut the noise and not really choke out your signal. So having the mono effects loop, the benefit is that the noise gate does come into play. And that can be, obviously really helpful if you have a higher gain, or you have your drive dialed in really high. So, but yeah, it sound duller going through the effects loop, right? Like it was the natural characteristics of the pedal were just a little bit compromised. I didn't find the differences, very vast, but there was a difference to me. So I'm not going to really give a recommendation because it's going to be what your ears hear. But I mean, I would find a way to have the drive, I think, before the pod go, because it sounds better to me, right? But it's just the noise issue. Drop a comment below and let me know what drive pedal do you use? Do you use it in the effects loop or before the pod go? And if you have a noise issue, if you're using it outside of the effects loop, coming before, how do you solve it? Do you use a noise gate? All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. In the meantime, check out this video.